I asked GPT-4 to identify 15 photos from Sondheim shows and to explain how it made its choice. How did it do? Let's find out. Here's the prompt. I'm going to paste in 15 photo stills from Sondheim shows. Which show is it from, and how do you know? So the first photo is from Officer Krupke from West Side Story, and it immediately says this is a still from the musical West Side Story by Stephen Sondheim. The clothing style, the gang-like grouping of the characters, and the urban backdrop with graffiti are all indicative of this particular show. Then this is from Gypsy, and it got it wrong. It said it's from the musical A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, probably because Miss Mazeppa is dressed in a Roman-style outfit. So I said, well, no, it's Gypsy. And then it came back with, my apologies for the mistake. The costumes and stage setting could be associated with Gypsy, the life of Gypsy Rose Lee and her mother Rose. And then I asked it, what number is it from? And it got it right. It thought about it, and then said the costumes suggest this could be from the number You Gotta Get a Gimmick from Gypsy. In this number, 3 seasoned burlesque performers give advice to the young Louise. Okay, so I've typed in the next one, which is from Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, and it thinks about it and pretty quickly says that it's a funny thing happened on the way to the forum because the costumes have a distinctly Roman theme. So it got that right. It even got the name of the character right. Now this one's from Company, kind of hard, but it quickly said this one appears to be from the musical Company by Stephen Sondheim, looking at the costumes and the contemporary setting. So this one is from Follies, thinking. This image is from the musical Follies by Stephen Sondheim. The lineup of women is glamorous, slightly dated costume is reminiscent of the show's setting. And the image from A Little Night Music may be kind of hard. It says that it thought it was from Into the Woods by Stephen Sondheim. And I came back and I said, nope, it's A Little Night Music. And it's got to identify what it is about this image that relates to that show. And it was able to come up with the costumes and the setting. But that's the best that it could do. Now, this image is from Pacific Overtures. It thinks it's Into the Woods again. It didn't recognize what was going on in the picture, so I said, nope, it's Pacific Overtures. ChatGPT then said, yeah, it's about the westernization of Japan, and I see the mix of Eastern and Western styles. Thank you for correcting me. So I pasted this photo, which should be easier than some of them, and ChatGPT said, this image is from Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. The character with the razor and the styling of the set indicate it's a scene from this dark musical thriller by Stephen Sondheim. Merrily We Roll Along? Maybe it's kind of hard, but let's see what ChatGPT has to say about it. The image is likely from Merrily We Roll Along, a musical by Stephen Sondheim. The costumes suggest a setting from the latter half of the 20th century, fitting the musical's timeline, which moves backward through the years. Okay, this photo is from Sunday in the Park with George, and ChatGPT looks at it and says the image is from Sunday in the Park with George, specifically the painting A Sunday Afternoon on the island of Le Grand Jatte. So then I pasted in an image from Into the Woods, finally, and it said the image is from Into the Woods, recognizing the various characters that are in the fairy tales that are interwoven into the plot of the show. So this one's from Assassins. The image is from Assassins, a musical by Stephen Sondheim. And the diverse costumes correspond to different periods in American history. Now this one's from Passion. It's not very descript, but let's see what ChatGPT can do with it. This image is from Passion, a musical by Stephen Sondheim. The setting and the costumes are indicative of 19th century Italy, which aligns with the show's plot. So that's the last one we're going to do chronologically. I'm going to paste in a couple more from earlier shows to see if it recognizes other scenes. So this is from America, from West Side Story. The flamboyant dresses and dynamic poses suggest a scene from a musical number that's lively and perhaps a bit whimsical or comedic, but it just doesn't know which one. So I say it's either West Side Story, Gypsy, or Forum, hoping that that will narrow it down. And ChatGPT responds, Given the colorful and flamboyant costumes, which are not typical for West Side Story, and given that Gypsy is set in the more realistic context of vaudeville and burlesque, this image is most likely from Forum. And then I say, nope, it's from America, from West Side Story. And then it figures it out, and it says the vibrant ruffled dresses indeed fit the energetic and iconic number America from West Side Story. So then it knows why it's from West Side Story. This image is Gypsy Rose Lee from Gypsy. Now, the artificial intelligence thought it was Rose's turn, so it got that wrong, but it got the musical right. So as of December 2023, GPT is able to recognize 11 out of 15 Sondheim shows. By the time you're watching this, it can probably recognize all of them. And here's another video I think you'll like.